Welcome and congratulations on your purchase of the new Cottage Do-It-Yourself kit. This is what you're going to end up with in the end. Nice little house for you bees to live in while they do all their work. So what we're going to do is we're going to rip this open. We're going to go through the instructions in real time and see what we get up with. These are the instructions here, and they're inside behind these. So we're going to go ahead and go through those step by step as we build this cottage. So first thing we're going to do is just cut this thing open. And just slide out the first instruction card there, because we're going to go over some of the things we want to get a hold of before we get building. So in the list you see a hammer, safety glasses, a piece of wood to cut onto, 2x6, 1x4, 1x4, 2x4. Need some glue, just basic wood glue. There is a brush inside to use with that if you want. A number 2 Phillips, so it's the bigger of the Phillips. A number 2 Robertson, and then just a couple extra things. This is a wood chisel that we might need for scraping off glue. You can also use a knife, and a speed square, which is just handy to have for lining things up. One thing I didn't mention on here is some water and a paper towel if you need to clean up any glue, and if you want to have newspaper or paper towel to protect your surface. Okay, so the reason we have safety glasses is you never know what's going to happen when you're using a hammer. So your eyes are the only ones you get. It's not going to hurt to keep safety glasses on your eyes just in case. So let's take out the parts that we have. We're going to, number 2 there is take apart the release box. This is the release box. When you get cocoons, you're going to put them inside here, and they're going to come out this hole when they hatch. In the release box is a little bag, and it has mounting screws, nails for building, and it may or may not have a screw. If it doesn't have a screw here, it's going to be inside the kit already built. I'm just going to put that off to the side. You also have these 2 long silver bolts, and those are for screws maybe, and those are for putting together the nesting block. So that is our release box. There we go. Okay, just set that off to the side. Now we're going to set up all the pieces in the kit like they are in the exploded view. So our exploded view is on the back. If you pull out the back one, this is what's called the exploded view, and we're going to use that and call it the setup location. So we're going to set up the roof and the sides and the nesting block like this. It just helps us kind of get where you're going. Okay, so let's do that. In there we have our narrow sides. We have our back. I'm just going to put that off to the side. These are the sides of the house. This is your platform. We're going to put that off to the side. That's one roof. Other side. Other roof. And there's your pen. You might want to use it for gluing. You might not want to. Okay. So with our nesting block, you'll see there is a long, 2 mediums, and 2 shorts. Okay, so this is our long. One thing to pay attention to is that the back edges of everything are flat. The back edges of the nesting block are flat, and the back edges of the roof, this is the roof, the back edges of the roof are flat. So that's going to go like this if you're facing it. Also, outside surfaces of the cedar, the dark wood, is rough and the inside surface is nice and smooth. So you've got your back is flat, your outside is rough. And that's going to be the same on the sides of but these aren't very rough. Some of them are rougher than others just because of the wood. So that's going to sit like this. The back is smooth. The front is round. The outside is rough and the inside is smooth. Yeah. So let's stand those up. We have our outside cedar pieces. Go like that. We have our short pieces. You'll see this one has on the left side, it has the barrel nuts is what they're called. This is going to go into. So that's going to go there. Its mate is going to go on this side. Again, you've got round is on the front and round is on the bottom. And then we have, this is our middle piece. It doesn't have anything but a keyhole. That's what that silver screw is for. And then these are our middle. Oh, top is flat, back is flat. Front is round, bottom is round. And then we have our right roof. This isn't going to work so well because of our angle. I'll roll this down here. Our left roof and our right roof. Now, this one has two edges on it. So just remember that the back is flat, the front is flat, and the bottom the front is round and the bottom is round. And that's how that's going to fit together. So there's our exploded view. We're going to call that our setup location. And I'm going to refer to that in the instructions. So I'm just going to leave that there. Now, nesting block. So this is where the mason bees, this is step number 4. This is where the mason bees are going to build their rooms or cells for their eggs. Arrange the 5 blocks in pieces 1 to 5, just like the picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got that all set up already. Again, top and back are flat, front and bottom are round. The tunnels need to be in like this. So if you have them, this is the correct setting as far as front and back and all that goes, but that's backwards. We want the tunnels on the inside. Okay. Now we're going to assemble the nesting block. We're going to use these 2 long bolts and they're going to go through the nesting block. So they will just go into this hole here and go right through. Oh, that's not going to go. That's no problem. What we want to do, set it down like this and just roll it over. Give it a bit of a tap and roll it back. Now let's try. Wiggle it then. There it goes. Same with this one. Give it a bit of a wiggle, in and it goes. Okay. And that all lines up nice and square. So now what we're going to do is just get it started. So just a couple of turns and it will grab and start to thread in. And then we're going to make a couple of bangs and just get it so it's just barely snug. Give it a couple of taps. See how I kind of rock it back and forth there? And we're going to just snug it up a bit more. Before you get it too tight, you can take your square. You could probably even take this. This is square here. If you put it on the speed square, that's nice and square. So, actually that wasn't. That's going to show you, if you line it up here and here, that's going to show you if you are nice and square. And that, obviously that's going to be square. That's nice and square. So now we can go ahead and just tighten those up nice and snug. And that draws everything nice and tight together. So there's no critters going to be able to get back and forth. That can go back to its home location. And let's go on to number 5. Again, there's the keyhole on the back of that. Number 5, the silver screw in the smooth side of the back plate is what the keyhole in the nesting block fits into. This is your back plate. And we just open up this little bag. These mounting screws, these are for mounting it. Just pop them into your release box for now, just to keep them safe, so they're not going to go anywhere. This is the little silver screw that you need. And that's going to go into here for the nesting block to rest on. So we're just going to put that in there. And now we're going to take a Robertson and screw it in. Now you can see a bit of a silver part here that's not threaded. That's probably about right where you stop, just as it gets that. In the instructions it says the nesting block needs to fit gently snug on the back plate. So what we're going to do is just put these two together, and you want it to slide down a little snug. It should wedge itself in a little bit. And then what you can do to make sure you're down is put your platform on top, and the tops of your platform should line up with this corner here. So that looks like a really nice fit. Okay. So we're just going to leave that together for now and put it back into the setup location. You can kind of see your house is already starting to come together. Nails. Now, this is where you want to have the piece of 2x6 or 2x4, whatever you have. You want to make sure that you're not going to mark the edge of your table. If you look at the left roof piece here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nail holes. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you'll notice in your bag you probably got a dozen, what did they call it? A baker's dozen of nails? Just in case there's a problem with one of them. You might get one that bends. So just to make sure you've got an extra, we threw in an extra little nail for you there. So you can be assured that you're not missing one when you have one left over. So what we're going to do, if we take our backing plate, you can see there are holes in it, right? This one I missed a little bit. And these holes line up with the pieces that are going to go onto it. So these also have holes in them, and all your pieces line up with the holes. So what we're going to do is pre-nail everything so we have the nail sticking through just a little bit, so it will easily slip into that hole that you started. So before we grab our nails, take our safety glasses, let's put them on. And then we take our hammer and our nail. And the nail should just sit in there. So you're going to give it a tap. You see how it's just coming through there? That's how you want it, just the tip coming through. So you can go ahead and tap your nails in along with me, or you can pause it if you like. And if they come up through a little bit too far, it's not rocket surgery, so you're okay. I mean, brain science. Nope. And just keep working your way around. Yeah. Okay, once you get that in, you can go back to its setup location. Take your next one. If the nails aren't through far enough, they're not going to seat in the holes on the other piece. Once you get glue on them, it's pretty hard to see the holes, but you can get an idea where they're going to go because they'll seat in place. That one's done. Back to its home location. I always get confused with this. Like that. Round on the front, round on the back. And then you've got your sides with a couple of holes. Don't put them in these holes. That's for this tip to go into. You're going to put them in these holes. So like the instructions say, you're going to go from the rough side to the smooth side. I hope you didn't miss that. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that. All right. And one last one. So once again, tips go into the rough side and they should come through to the smooth side on the inside. I'm sure you're smart enough to figure that one out. Okay. Good. Let's put that off to the side. We don't need it. That off to the side. We don't need it. This we still need. Now, we're going to take the back plate and the left side from the setup location. So we're going to take and line up the nail tips. So these nail tips are going to line up inside these holes, just like that. And once they're lined up, you should be able to hold it on there and it'll be a nice setup. So you've got a nice flush line here and a nice flush line here. And then what we're going to do, take that off, and we're going to glue these together. So I'm getting ahead of myself, I think. We're going to put glue only on the edge of the back plate that touches the left side. So this is what touches the left side right here. Right? Just like that. The other thing you can do is put glue on the left side. Either way. If you put glue on the left side, you're not going to get it down too far. The one thing about putting it on the side here of the back plate is you need to make sure that you don't have any glue down here, because that's not covered by the side piece. So if you like, you can just do it easier and put it on the side piece. Now you don't need very much. You can either put it in a little dish, or you can just carefully dribble some on. And take your brush, if you like. You really don't need to do this. It will kind of squish itself. but it doesn't hurt. If you putting on the side here like this makes it a bit harder to know how much to put on. So if you put on the side of the back plate, it's a bit easier to see how much to put on. So, it's up to you. Now, we're going to bring this back. I'm going to leave the nesting block in place. It just helps to kind of support this so it doesn't fall everywhere. You just want to make sure you don't get any glue in here. Otherwise, you're never going to get this thing off. So, let's line that up. And lay it on your workpiece and just hammer those nails in. Watch your fingers. Okay. We've got really no glue there, which is great. And there's a little bit of glue here, which is just fine. So we're going to leave that there. Don't wipe it off. Just leave it for now. I'll show you what we'll do in a bit. Okay. So when you set it down, just make sure you don't set it down on anything. Let's take this side and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put that, looking at the back of it now, right like this. And that fits right there like that. So let's this time put glue on with the brush, and that's going to go like this. Funny how that works. All right. You don't need much. If you have too much glue, then it just comes out all over the place. The glue just kind of seals it together. The nails, that's probably too much. So I'm going to take that and put it away. The nails hold it together. The glue helps. Glue by itself wouldn't be so good. Nails by themselves, they'd be all right. So now I have no holes. This is another trick. So if you take this and line it up here, and then just kind of lay it down, you should find those holes. We go back and forth a bit, and there they are. Don't have that one cut very well. Okay, now I don't have the block in here, so you have to kind of hold it in place. A little bit of glue there. I've got a bit of an overlap. There we go. So if we were to take this, I don't have any glue on the inside, so you're safe to put your nesting block in there just to see what it's going to look like if you like. Watch out for the glue on the back though. That's going to go in there. Push it up, boop, falls in, and there it goes. Nice fit. Okay. So let's leave that there for a little bit. And let's go get a cookie or something, a cup of tea. Takes about 10 minutes for that to get so you can scrape it off. If you have more glue, 10 minutes should still be okay. We're going to clean that off. If you have glue in here, that's okay. Just leave it. Just leave it. Let's go take a break. And I'll be back in 10 minutes. Well, I'll be back in a second, like that. All right, there we go. That's about 10 minutes. And this chisel or sharp knife, utility knife, we're just going to run it along and just peel that off. See how that peels off? Perfectly clean. And that way you don't have to deal with getting glue all over your fingers. If you smear it, you're going to get glue spreading out. And on the back, it's not a big deal. But on the inside, if it's in the corners, if you smear it, it's just going to look nasty. So you just take this, take the corner right into there and just slide it along nice and gentle. You don't have to push on it. And you'll just peel it right off. And you'll have hardly anything left. I ended up not getting any. Not a very good demonstration for you. But you'll see. After 10 minutes, it works really well. So there we go. That's that done. Oops. Oh, look at that. Go all over me. That's why water is nice to have around. Nice cup of warm water. Okay. So we've repeated 9. We've repeated step 8 to this side adult here. So we're going to, once we have the glue cleaned up, we're going to put the nesting block back in place. And that'll lock down in place there. Okay. Now, we can get rid of our work surface for this one. These will fit. There are a lot more holes on this one. So you're going to have these two fit into here. And this one fits into the side here, right? So let's just dry fit it and just make sure it fits okay. Just hook up your holes. I am not so coordinated, am I? There's those two holes and that hole. See how that lines up? And it's in there, it's locked in there. So that's good to have. It's good to have it set so that you can just see where you're going. So I'm going to read these instructions to you and show you what I mean. Line up the nails holes just like we did. So the angled edge of the right side, this is the left side. Sorry, we want to do the right side first. Yeah, we want to do the right side first. So line up your right side so that it's in there nice and snug, nice and dried fit, okay? So what we're going to do is put glue on the pieces where it touches, okay? So that means we're going to have glue on this and on this. And it's a lot easier to put the glue on here than it is on here, because here it's like, whoa. So we're going to put glue along there, okay? So we're just going to take our glue. Come on. Put a little bead along there and a little bead along there. Now again, if you want to, you can brush that. It's not necessary, but it does make it just spread out a bit better. Again, if it gushes out, we can just scrape it off later. All right, so it's not a big deal if you get too much. It just means you have to clean up more. Okay. So before we go any further, we're going to go into step 12. This one is tricky. What we want to do is make sure that this space in here stays nice and square. So to achieve a clean fit, this is step 12, where the side angle meets the roof right here. We want to make sure this is square. Okay, so what we're going to do is take both instruction cards, take one at a time. You're going to take the card, fold top to bottom in half, and fold it in half again. All right, we're going to take that inserted card in between your nesting block and your side. Okay, so we're going to take the next one. I'm cheating. We're going to take this and fold it top to bottom, and then in half again. So you end up having 4, and you're going to put that in between there as well. And it should be nice and snug in there. There should not be a whole lot of room. Oh, don't get your glue. So now we know that these are held nice and square to the block. They're not going to be in and out. You're not going to have anything out. And that means it's going to be nice and square to the roof. All right. So we've dry fitted this. So now we know we can fit this on here. We're going to just, it is actually quite a lot easier if you just leave it down here. This piece is going to be underneath there. It's going to line up perfectly. So if you just line those up, that'll make it a lot easier to line up your holes. Just like that. So we're going to put that on its side. And just tap these nails in. Oops. Just like that. Oops, move that. Don't force it because it'll make things go out of alignment like I just did. When it's together, it should be, see how that's nice and lined up there? Tapping this in is a bit trickier. So you're going to put your hand on here and push, or have somebody help you push, or put it against something. Okay. Nice and lined up there. Nice and flush on the back there. And we have very little glue inside. I've done this a couple times. Now, this is going to be the same exact thing. You line up the holes. If it's laying on its back, it's much easier. Line up the holes like that so you know how they go. See how that lines up? A lot of glue for this one. So you've got glue here, here, and here. Okay? So we're going to put a bit of glue on here. A bit of glue on here. And a bit of glue on here. We'll take our brush. Just a zigzag wiggly wag, and we're done. Whoop. Okay. Let's set that back down and bring that in again. That one's a little bit trickier because there's nothing really to go with for lining it up. Now for this one, it's really helpful. Bring back your piece of wood, and we're going to put it like this so that your roof isn't being pressed on. Okay, so we're going to lay it down like that. Oh, sorry. We're going to lay it down like this. Okay, let's put that back together. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh my. Just move it around until you find the holes. There. See, it just falls right in when you get your holes together. So you can kind of, well, now I've got a bit of a mark with the glue. You can get a bit of an idea where it's going to fit, and boop, see, it just falls in. Then we're going to lay that on the piece of wood so that the side is supported and the roof is not. And we're going to tap these in. It is going to want to slide. All right. just like that. Now you can slide these out. Nice snug fit. That is beautiful. That's perfect. That's really nice. And there you have it. Your house is built together. Now, if you really want to, you can take, no, I don't have it. You can take a nail set and you can nail set these in if you want. I like them nice and flush. You can also take a little wire brush and just, that takes away some of the flatness from building it. Don't press too hard or you'll have big scratches in it. This just makes it a little bit rougher looking. That's probably too rough of a brush. Okay. So now your platform is going to go in, and your release box is going to fit in the top. So when you get some mason bees, you're going to put them inside. So what you can do is take a pen or a pencil and just poke it in the hole to slide it out. Once the bees are finished hatching, you can pull this out, and you'll know this by you'll have a fair bit of cement on here, or the bees have stopped being active. Take this out, and you can take a look at what's inside and turn it around, and then the wasps won't go in there. It is a little bit trickier to get it out if you put it in because you don't have a hole. But if you just pull out the platform, you can then lift out your block. Okay. These holes are for mounting, so you can mount it permanently. Put it on a south facing or east facing. A southeast corner is really ideal. They like heat. On the back of the end is your congratulations statement. So you're going to have an amazing fruit harvest this year, and the bees are going to love you. There's some instructions here on parasites and why we clean, how to clean them out, how to wash them, and how to store them. And if you have any other questions, please get a hold of us at busybeecreation@gmail.com. You can ask us questions, anything. There is no dumb question. These are fascinating little creatures, and Mr. Google has lots of information as well. So congratulations. That looks great, and I'm sure yours looks great. You know what? If you want to take pictures and send them in to us, that'd be fantastic. That'd be really neat to see all of your builds, see where you're putting them. Be neat to see pictures of your bees in the summertime, in the springtime, and all the fruit that you get in the winter. Congratulations and enjoy your mason bees. Happy beekeeping, and we will show you a clean out later on in the year once we have some. Take care.